Hola YouTube, my name is Ricardo Lino and I'm a wheel addict. Let me share with you some opinions about the whole new, well, couple months, USD Xsjado Dustin Latimer. I'm gonna try to make it quick. I think it's gonna rain in no time, so let me try to do it really fast. So, at first it was quite weird to see Dustin Latimer name on a skate again, but obviously Dustin has been one of the best, if not the best, inline skater ever, aggressive skater, and I'm obviously really happy to be able to skate this skate. Now, it was also weird to see Dustin Latimer, Xsjado, and USD, but yes, we know that Powerslide took over Xsjado from Solomon, which is that I have here right now. At first they ran it over Xsjado with Xsjado to now call it Xsjado as Shado. Funny enough, this is like the original Xsjado. For me, it was the first time that I ever owned a pair of the original Xsjado. I know a lot of people out there will be saying, yeah, the plastics is not the same, it's not made by Solomon anymore. So these ones are made in China, nothing wrong with that. But my firstly owned from the beginning Xsjado skate was the Sean Kelso skate, the one that had it was a 2.0 that had the cuff. I did have one of the original Xsjados that belonged to Mike Chole. Early 2000s, he visited me in Lisbon and he left his skates behind. He didn't want his skates anymore, so I ended up skating them a little bit, but I never really had the foot wraps, which are the shoes that used to come on the Xsjados. So I skated them with Converse shoes and with Civic shoes, and they were very flimsy. I never really felt like my foot was in place with those, but I also never skated the original Xsjados with the foot wraps. The Powerslide Xsjado with the Xsjado with the foot wrap, according to a lot of people, the foot wrap was not the same as the original one. I don't know what they really mean by that, but I know that this is also not the same as the original one, but it was specifically made for this skate. And I love this chunk that it has here. I would call it the chunk. It's like a piece of rubber that sticks out, making that the shoe stays in this part right here, so it prevents from heel lift. Now, does the rest of the shoe keep your heel in place? Well, it's a little bit soft, and sometimes your heel may move a little bit on the inside if you don't tighten them a lot. But if I kind of feel, at least to me, if I tighten this strap a little bit more, my heel won't move anymore. So yeah, in terms of my heel moving, I didn't felt like that would be, or that was that much of a problem. Now, I was scared of having a skate without a cuff, because I didn't know how the forward flex would be, but they work so good. It's actually so easy. It's like, of course you can control the forward flex by how much you are going to tighten these straps here on top. So forward flex, it's really not a problem at all. Backwards flex, I don't feel like I need my skate to be able to do this type of movement, you know? At least to me, I don't feel it. Now, it was interesting to see a skate come stock like the original ones did, with the frame that resembles the original Xsjado. Oh, it's about to rain. I may need to finish this. Yeah, it's raining. Finish this. Okay, so hopefully everything is okay. And let me go back to what I was saying, the frame. So the frame is obviously very similar to the original Xsjado, but it's not the same anymore. If you don't know, or if you didn't know, the first Xsjado skates, they used to have a frame called the Mook, and the Mooks used to actually break very easily. There were people that break 5, 10, whatever. They would break very easily, but also, the original ones, they used to be thinner in the middle, and the Kaiser's Type X, they have like this, I don't know if you can see it here, but this piece here on the side that is a bit thicker, and also there are the same width all the way. So it's not the exact same as the original Xsjado, because when you have a narrower frame, you're not gonna need to lean as much. And especially on such a low frame, that was one of the things that I used to think that would be a bit weird for me, because I did put my feet inside some Xsjados at first, and I kind of felt like a backslide was almost like a putt slide. The foot was so straight. That was with the original ones with the slimmer frame. With these, well, the frame is a little bit wider, meaning that you're gonna need to lean a tiny bit more, but you still don't need to lean a lot. So this is different. When you have a skate like these, you kind of like don't need to lean or don't need to bend your feet as much to be able to do torques and even top sides, because look at the size of these soles. But then you have a boot that allows a lot of movement. As I said, the forward flex is actually controlled by these straps here, but somehow I felt like my feet could move a lot. And that was a bit weird. That was a bit weird. So when I tried to skate them in the bowl, it wasn't the most stable skate, number one. Also, when I tried to roll fakie, because of them not being that stable, I ended up realizing that I had to go with my feet like this instead of like that. But this is me, because at the end of the day, the way that I always saw the pro skaters from Xsjado at these times skate was like, they always skated like with their stance so wide. I used to love it. I used to love like the way that Farmer landed like with a super wide stance. Even Latimer, obviously, used to skate with a super wide stance. Stockwell, all of them had a super wide stance. And then when you would see people skate without that type of stance, they always lean their feet like on the inside, like negative, like in a weird, awkward position. So yeah, I honestly don't know if I'm made for this type of skates, but I can tell you that I enjoy them. Now, the wheels are good. Don't expect these wheels to be the fastest wheels in the world. Don't expect these wheels to last forever. You're skating freestyle. Even if you got really good wheels, they're gonna burn. They're gonna burn way faster. And to be fully honest, I'm a heavy skater, and they handled a couple of sessions without breaking or anything like that. If you look at the shape, you'll see there's a little bit of a usage on one of the sides, but nothing crazy. But I also didn't really skate street, and I would say that's where these skates would shine, like in terms of performance. But then in terms of durability, I'm not 100% sure, because like then you would get into burning sole plates and going through frames. And I know that previously, one of the biggest problems with Xsjado skates would be that you wouldn't find parts. Maybe that's not a problem anymore, but I didn't saw any more of these skates being planned for this year. So if you're gonna get them, make sure you're gonna be able to find the parts. I think that's gonna be a very important thing. Again, in terms of performance, I really like them, especially if you're into doing more technical grinds, or if you like street skating and if you're able to get the parts. I like them. They felt lightweight, and very important, I had a couple of people saying that they like to see the way that I skate or the way that I look with these skates, which is always a good compliment, you know? I don't know about you, but for me, when I put a pair of skates that I look down and I like what I see, or when I get compliments, it makes me want to skate them more. And this is one of those skates. You know, I skate basically every skate out there, and not always I get that. So to get people telling me, oh, I like the way you look on those skates, or I like how those skates look on you, well, that was good. Very important. I know that I'm all over the place with these, but if you have a very wide or tall foot, make sure that they fit you, because for me it's on the last hole here. They have all these holes and I'm on the last hole. I also had to make the heel, I had to bring the heel a little bit more to the smaller side, and now they're perfectly centered. But when they first came to me, they were not centered. It's kind of like the heel was a bit too much into the back, and I'm a size 43. So on a size 43, the heel was pushed too much in the back and the frame wasn't centered, and now it feels like it's centered. So yeah, that is it. Quality wise, I didn't have problems. Comfort wise, I didn't have problems. I like them. And congratulations to Dustin Latimer for having such an amazing skate.